Welcome to Google Sheet tutorial. Today I'll teach you how I have created my debt payoff tracker in Google Sheets. So with the help of this one, you will be able to completely track all your debts, and then you can also have the payment schedule, and then you'll be able to completely pay off your debts. So first I'll show you how this dashboard is going to look like, and then I'll teach you from scratch. So here is how my complete dashboard is going to look like. Here I have the year, and then which month, then how much payment is done, and how much is left, and what is the balance, and how much is paid off. Also, I have some of the important graphs here, like what is the debt paid off and top 5 debts. So all these graphs I have over here, and then below that one, I'm having the complete table to track all my loans. So for example, all the loans are listed over here. So how much payment, how much is paid, and then how much is left, and what is the balance, and how much is paid off. So all this one we'll be able to track with the help of this particular table. So I'll teach you how to create this dashboard from scratch. Let's get started. So here I have opened a new spreadsheet, and then I have named the spreadsheet as debt payoff tracker. And first I'll go and name the sheet as input data. So here we'll be trying to input all our whatever debts we are going to have. We'll just try to have that as the input in this table. So first I'll have the title. So I'll try to select these cells, and then I'll say merge center. So here I'll say input data, and then I'll just increase the size, and then I'll do the formatting. So below this one, I'll just create a table. So I'll have the debts listed, and then after that, what is going to be the balance. Next, how much minimum payment has to be made, and then what is the interest percentage for these debts. So I'll just try to create this table. So we can just adjust these columns over here. I'll completely select this, and then I'll do the formatting. So here, let me try to go and list down all my debt. So for example, I can say home loan, then personal loan, then I can have credit card. So then we can have the student loan and some medical debt, whatever we can. So these are some of my loans, I can say. You can list down how many ever loans you have in this particular table. And let's say what is going to be the balance of all these loans. So for home loan, let's say it's going to be $13,000. And for personal loan, let's say $3,500. And for credit card, let's keep it $1,200. For student loan, let's have $3,000. And for medical debt, let's have $2,000. And here we can mention what is going to be the minimum payment for each and every month. So let me say $450. And for personal loan, $300. For credit card, $150. And for student loan, let's say $300. And for medical debt, let's say $230. So these are going to be my minimum payment. And then here, let's try to mention the rate of interest. So I'll say 10%. So for personal loan, let's say 11%. For credit card, let's say 9%. For student loan, let's say 8%. And for medical also, let's say 8%. So all these are going to be in US dollars. So I'll just try to format this. So in this particular table, we can try to list down all our debts, how much is going to be the balance, and what is the minimum payment, and how much interest is for each and every, and what is the interest percentage over here. So next, I'll try to go and create another sheet. So in this sheet, I'll name the sheet as transactions. So we'll have the title over here. So I'll just try to merge this completely. So here I'll do the formatting. So in this particular transactions table, what we are going to do is we are actually going to list down all the transactions, how much ever like we are trying to pay the debts. So those transactions we'll just try to list down over here. So in this table, we'll have the date, and then what is going to be the value of that particular transaction, and for which debt we are just trying to repay. And then if any other details we need to add, we can have the transactions detail over here. So I'll just try to increase the width. So I can just highlight this particular title column. So below like this, you can just say what is going to be the date, and then let's say $500. And then for home loan, if I'm trying to repay, I can just say home loan over here. So like this, I can just try to enter all the transactions, whatever repayment transactions I'm just trying to do. So I can have all these transactions in this particular transactions table. So next I'll go and create another one sheet. So here I can call this as debt tracker. So at the top we'll have the title here. So I'll just try to merge this one and then say debt payoff tracker. So I'll increase the size and then I'll do the formatting. So at the top, we'll just give some space for our dashboard, and then I'll come down and then I'll create the table over here. So here, let me say completely, I'll just select this completely. And here I'll say our overview table, we'll have it over here. And then below this one, I'll have my debts, and then what is going to be the payment, and how much is paid, and how much is left. We'll just try to calculate, and the balance, and how much is paid off, and at last we'll have the progress over here. So I can just try to go and adjust these width of these columns. So I'll completely select this and I'll make this bold, and I'll also fill this with the color. So next, the complete title here. So I can just fill in the color. So in this table, we'll have the complete overview of all our debts. We'll just try to have the complete overview. So what I'll do is I'll just come over here, and then here I'm going to have all the debts, whatever I have listed in the input data table. So I just need to fetch all the debts from that particular table. So here I'll be using the is equal to if, and then I'll open the brackets. I'll go to the input data, and then I'll select the cell. If the cell is going to be empty, so that is going to be the condition. So if it is going to be empty, I'll have no value, or else I'll have the same cell over here. So I'll just select, I've got the value over here. So I'll just try to completely flash fill over here. So I'll get all the debts, whatever is there, I'll get it over here. So below this one, I'll have the total value at the bottom. So next, how much our payment we are just trying to make for these debts, we can just try to mention it over here. So for example, let's say I'll do $550. And then $400 for credit card, let's say 300 for student loan, let's say 340, and for medical debt, let's say $260. So these are the some of the payment value, whatever is being made. So I'll convert this into US dollars over here. So next is I need to find out how much ever is paid over here. So for example, let's say that if you are paid for these debts, that should be in the transactions table, right? So here I need to use the sum ifs formula, and then I will try to calculate whether for home loan, whatever transactions are there for that particular month, I'll just try to sum up the value, and then I will have the value over here. So here we'll be using the formula. So I'll say is equal to, and I'm going to say, so before getting into sum ifs, we'll just have the month at the top. So for example, here I'll have the March. So let's say for March we are doing, so I'll have the month over here. So here I'll come is equal to, so I'll say is equal to sum ifs. I'll open the brackets, and then first I need to select what is going to be my sum range. So the value is nothing but this is going to be the sum range, right? So I'll just try to select this completely. So the value over here, and then next I need to give the first condition. So here let me try to come and give the first condition over here. So that's nothing but the date. So it should be greater than, that is the month, and then less than, or that it should be within the range of that particular month. So I'll completely select the date range, comma, and then here I need to give the condition for that particular month. So I'll say it should be greater than or equal to, and I'll go and select the month over here. So the month is over here, right? So I'll just try to go and select the month. So this is the first criteria. So second, we'll go and have the next criteria. So that is also the range is going to be the same date range. So I'll completely select this. I'll give comma. So inside the quotations, I'll say it's going to be lesser than or equal to, and I'll have the EO month, and I'll go and select the month over here. So the month is nothing but we have it in the tracker sheet. So I'll select the month and then comma 0, I'll just give. So now I'll close the brackets for this one. So the third criteria is that, so whatever I'm going to do the sum, it should be equal to the home loan, right? So it should be equal to that one. So here I'll come. So there we have the debt. So here we'll be having that in the debt. So the debt should be equal to the home loan. So I'll completely select this range, and then inside the quotations I'll say equal to, and it should be equal to this one, the home loan. So I'll come and select the home loan over here, and I'll close the brackets. So this is going to be my formula. So I'm getting 0 since there is no transactions in our transactions table. So now we can just try to flash fill this formula. So before doing that one, I'll do the absolute referencing. Since these date ranges, value, and the debt, all these ranges are going to be, it will remain the same. So I'll just do the absolute referencing over here. So I'll do it for all the value range and the date ranges. So whatever for criteria, whatever range we have selected, so I'll just do it. And here the month is also going to remain the same. So I'll just do for that also. So at last we'll have the D24. So this one, the column is going to remain the same, only the rows will change. Okay. So before the column number, we can just try to do the absolute reference. And then, so this is going to be the formula. So I'll just try to completely flash fill this formula for the entire column. So also I'll convert this into dollars. Now we have got the paid value. Next is that we need to find how much is left. So in case if the paid is less, but the payment is going to be more, so we need to find out the difference of that one. So that is going to be nothing but my payment subtracted by the left value. So that is going to be the left value. So I'll just try to calculate this, and then I'll completely flash fill over here. So this is going to be my left value. Next, I'll come and try to do for the balance. Whatever balance is still required, and then which is need to be paid for that loan. So that one you can see we actually have it over here, right? So the balance. So this value I'll just try to get it. So I'll say is equal to it. Then I'll open the brackets. So here I'll say the balance. If the cell is going to be empty, so I'll have no value, or else I'll have the same value. So all these are arranged in the same order. So whatever we have the loans over here, so all these are arranged the same order in the tracker also. So that's why no problem. So we'll get the values correctly over there. And if I just try to flash fill, so I'll get all the balance values over here. For any of the debts, if any amount is paid off, so we can enter those values. So for example, if we have paid off like $500, let's say for the home loan, so we can just try to enter those values over here. So let's say for personal loan, 200 is already paid. So all these paid off values, we can just try to enter track over here. And I'll also convert this into the dollars. So below, I'll just come here and let me try to completely highlight this. So here we'll try to find out the total. So let's say this total sum of all the payments. So I'll just say is equal to sum, and then I'll open the brackets, and I'll just try to find the sum of these values. So here for paid also, similarly, I'll just try to find the sum of the values. Next, the left. So I'll just try to find the sum of all the sum of left values. Next, we'll find out the balance values. So sum of the complete balance and the sum of the paid off values also we'll just try to find out. So now we can actually try to find the progress for these loans. So to do that, I can say come over here, and then I'll just try to find the progress percentage. So how much ever is paid off divided by the balance is going to be the progress percentage. So if I click, so you can see I'm getting the progress percentage. So now when I just try to drag this completely, so I'll get the progress percentage for all the loans. So to get the progress over here, I can just say it's going to be equal to, so the same percentage. So I'll just flash fill completely. So here I can just completely select this, and then I'll do the conditional formatting over here. So I'll go to conditional formatting, I'll go to the color scales, and then here, let's say minimum value is going to be 0 and the maximum value is going to be 100. The percentage is less, it will be in white color. If the percentage is like somewhere between 20-30%, it will be in light green like this. If it is going to be 100%, it will be in dark green color. So like this we'll have. So I'll just try to have this rule. So you can see mostly we are having it in white color. The reason is that, so the progress percentage is everywhere. You can see it's only like 5.71. It's less than 10%. So that's why we're just getting like this over here. So this is our complete overview table. So now we'll try to go and do the dashboard. So the top, I'll just go to the top, and then here we'll have the important key pointers. Like let's say first we'll have the year. So here I'll completely select this. I'll say merge center. So here I'll have the select year, and then below that one I'll merge center. So here I'll have the select month. So to enter the values, so here I can just say merge center this one completely. So let's say 2025, and then let's say March. So these two I can just completely select this, and I can do the formatting. So I'll increase the size to 16. I'll make this bold, and also I'll make this center line. So if you want, we can even have the borders for this one. So if you want to have the borders, so I can even add the borders for this. So like this, I can just add the borders, and then I'll make this center line. So here we can fill in this with the colors. So next I'll have the other key pointers. So let's say here I'll be having some other key pointers. So I'll just try to completely merge these cells first. So here I'll have the payment, and below this I'll have how much is the left value, and here I'll just try to merge this to enter the values. So now I'll just try to select all these key pointers, and then I'll just try to do the formatting easily. So I'll have the borders for this. I'll increase the size to 16, and then I'll make this center line and also bold. So here we can have the colors. So let me try to fill in the background colors. So here we'll have, and then the payment is nothing but going to be the whatever the total payment. So I'll say is equal to, so this total payment value over here, and then the left value is going to be is equal to the left value. So whatever value we have over here, and then the balance is going to be is equal to, so the balance, and then paid off value is going to be the paid off value over here. So these are the different values. Now let's try to create some graph for this particular dashboard. So I'll just try to add some rows over here. So since we have little bit less space, so I'll just try to add some 4 or 5 rows over here. So here we'll just try to have the required graphs. So first I can just try to have the graph for the how much is the balance and the paid off value. So for this one I can just create a graph. So I'll try to go to insert, and then I'll create a chart. So I'll have a pie chart over here. So with the help of this pie chart, you can see that how much is the balance and how much is paid off. So easily with this one, you'll be able to see it. So let's say I'll just try to go and have the title for this one. So here I'll say, so balance versus paid off. So this is the chart, and we can try to go and change the color according to our theme colors. So I'll just try to go and change it. So from this one, you will be easily able to see that this 97% is the balance, and only 3% of our loans have been paid off. So with the help of this one, we'll be easily able to completely track how much is balance versus paid. So next, we can just try to go and create a graph. So how much balance is going to be for each and every loan. So I'll completely select this debt and balance. I'll try to go and create a chart for this. So here you can see for which loan most of the amount has been taken. So easily you will be able to track this with the help of this graph. So this graph tells so how much is going to be the balance for each and every loan. I'll change the color to a theme color. So here is the graph for a balance versus debt. So like this, with the help of this one, you'll be easily able to completely track your debts, and then easily you can pay off your debt. So from the transactions, whatever you're entering, so automatically it will have the sum of values we'll be having in the paid, and then you can easily able to track your debts with the help of this particular debt tracker. If you wish to use this debt tracker and then pay off your debts, I have given the link in the description for the complete debt tracker. You can just try to go and then download it from there. Also, I have created multiple templates to track your personal finance, like budget by paycheck, net worth tracker, sinking funds, and many more different trackers I have created to track your personal finance. So if you wish to use these templates, you can visit my website plrduck.com and then download it from there. So the good thing about this is all these templates are available for both Google Sheets and Excel. And the important thing is these templates comes with master resale rights and commercial rights. So you can just try to edit these templates as per your wish and then share it with as many people you want. I hope you would have liked this video. Do like and subscribe my channel for more such content. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another Excel or Google Sheet tutorial.